Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two very important pieces of information, developments. First, I should mention that this piece of information comes from the Russians, but the information contained in these articles from Russia Today, one comes from Ukraine and the other one comes from the Russian intelligence services. All right, let's start with the first one, which says, the title reads, Ukraine has lost, and why Ukraine lost, according to an ex-Zelensky advisor. So this ex-Zelensky advisor says that Ukraine has lost, and he's going to tell us why. And the other one, more important, I would say, piece of information, if true, comes again from Russia Today. NATO plans to oust Zelensky, Russian intel. And the other one is, again from Russia Today, Ukraine has lost, ex-Zelensky advisor. So let's start with this one. Kiev's denial of reality will exclude it from having a say in the conflict's outcome, Alexei Arestovich has warned. I stated this in many videos, and I think the last one was yesterday or the day before, where I said the peace negotiations will be between the big dogs, which is America and Russia. Ukraine will continue to be used as a lady of the night by the customers. So let's see what this guy is saying. Why Ukraine won't have any say and why Ukraine lost. Ukraine has lost the armed conflict with Russia primarily due to the inability of the Ukrainian people to take personal responsibility for their failures. I think this is harsh because the Ukrainian people were, I think, fooled by their media and the outside influences, and they elected this guy who was a tool, which is Zelensky, a tool of those interests. Alexei Arestovich, a former aide to Vladimir Zelensky, has argued he expects the US, Russia, and China to decide on the resolution without consulting Kiev. I don't think China will have a say whatsoever in that. Because if China will have a say, the United States of America will try to draw in others to balance the big mouths and the noise. Arestovich resigned from his governmental post in early 2023 after contradicting the official narrative around a missile incident. Now, a sharp critic of the Zelensky administration, he argued in a Telegram post on Sunday that the changing tone of Western discourse about Ukraine has signaled a significant policy change. US President Donald Trump will sort things out with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping. I don't think so. This one, no. I give it 1%. And I'm quoting, without consulting us, Ukrainians, because engaging with those who deny reality is futile. And I'm quoting again, we have lost the war due to our own stupidity, pride, and stubbornness. In truth, we have defeated ourselves, he says. We have created a society of mutual hatred and intolerance in which every individual is right and everyone collectively is to blame. End quote. So what do you think, my friends? I think it's been from the very beginning the guys in charge of Ukraine were far away. And I'm not talking about the Americans. The guys in charge of the American interests, which are the banking system, military-industrial complex, and the resources industries, which is the energy industries. These are the big ones. And then big pharma will come to provide people for their PTSDs and other, I'm not going to say what, illnesses, mental illnesses. All right, let's go to the second article. This comes again from Russia Today. NATO plans to oust Zelensky, Russian intel. The US-led military bloc sees the Ukrainian leader as an obstacle to peace talks, the SVR has claimed. NATO is considering trying to facilitate the removal of Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky. It's not NATO. Let's put the straight name on United States of America. NATO is United States of America. United States of America is NATO. right there. Stop pretending here. From power by discrediting him ahead of potential elections next fall, the Russian Foreign Intelligence Services SVR claimed in a statement on Monday. The agency believes that Western officials see Zelensky as a key obstacle to peace talks with Moscow. Zelensky remains in office despite his term having officially expired last May. That's a fact. He has refused to step down and postpone presidential election, citing the martial law imposed in 2022 following the escalation of the conflict with Russia. Western leaders are looking to, quote-unquote, freeze the conflict by pushing both Moscow and Kiev towards negotiations, but Zelensky is seen as a barrier, the SVR said. And I'm quoting. Washington and Brussels agree that the main obstacle to the implementation of such scenario is Zelensky, who is referred to in Western circles as nothing more than expendable material. End quote. The agency said in a statement, adding that even NATO understands that Zelensky's time is up. I made a prediction, it's going to be like this. If Zelensky goes rogue, he's going to be taken out. Taken, lifted, dropped somewhere with his billions, or not even lifted, dropped over there, boom, or have a little something with an accident with a helicopter or something. Zelensky will have no say. He will be removed just like this by the people who protect him from being removed by others. Okay? So that's Zelensky. Zelensky is out. Zelensky has no power. With all the appointees, the Americans are telling him what to do 100%. And the Brits will feel important by sending another baboon like Boris Johnson with a message. Zelensky, you're out. Why? That's the way it is, my friends. Always the weasels. Give a weasel a power, he's going to be a tyrant right there. We all have tyranny inside of us. Can't deny that. If you don't have it, then you deserve to be a servant. All right, just saying. It was a joke. It was a joke. So, my friends, Zelensky is not going to be at the negotiating table. If he's going to be at the negotiating table, he's going to be just the speaker. The speaker, but the guy with the microphone will be someone else. The speaker will just hear Zelensky say what these guys are singing in the microphone. That's with Zelensky. The Russians will not accept anybody else to negotiate. He's going to say, I negotiate only with the manager who has a decision-making power, which is the United States of America. I don't discuss with the Brits, who are the enemies. I don't discuss with the Germans, who are weasels under occupation, with the French, who are weak. I'm talking with the Americans. They are the decision-making power in that side. And these guys are the originators of what's going on in Ukraine. So I'm talking to them. And why should I not impose that? And Russia will say, no, it's not going to be any NATO, not only in Ukraine. We're going to discuss with the NATO if NATO will have military infrastructure in Poland, in the Baltic states, in Romania, in Bulgaria, not Turkey. Turkey is okay, you'll see that. Why? Because Turkey is going to play, with both sides. Takes it both ways. And anyway, so here it is, my friends. This I think is going to be the Russians will impose, and Trump will appear to show that it's a victory for humanity, but actually NATO lost. Why? Because it did not win. Why? It was supposed to win Russia. Have Putin gone, allow Russia to be bent over, panties down, and get at it. That's what we have been. But it wasn't. The economy did not collapse. The military did not collapse. The intelligence services did not overthrow Putin. And Gaddafi garbage was not pulled on Putin. Everything unsuccessful. Putin still has a majority of support in Russia, about 80% according to the latest polls or something. So you can say it's rigged, but look how much Trump has, look how much the Western leaders have in the 20s, 30s, that's it. How do you have imperium to be in charge? To be in charge if you are in a minority. Get the hell out. I thought that democracy rules, not a minority. I mean, Starmer, the prime minister appointed, a prime minister of Great Britain, his party had about 18%. 18 of the, how many voted, not the full electorate, how many voted, 18 of that he's got, and he's the prime minister. So probably he's in charge of Great Britain with about 20% of the approval rate for his party overall. All right, that's democracy in Great Britain. But they elector everybody. What Great Britain did with Magna Carta, and not only, it's laudable, it's fantastic. But hey, in this case, Don't lecture anybody. You have no room. You have a king. Hereditary. Who's actually elected over there? The commoners, the MPs, even the House of Lords. It's kind of like murky. Before it was clear. Hereditary. I want to be in the House of Lords. You come in, man. Now I think I have to be a little bit of like, we agree this guy in the club or not. It's a different, it's a class society, which I'm okay with that. Anyway, so what's going on here? There's not going to be any negotiations. NATO will claim they won. Russia will claim it won. And actually what's going to happen, Ukraine will be sacrificed and Russia will take control of Ukraine. Ukraine will not be an independent country for the foreseeable in our lifetimes. It's not going to be. I know, put 80 years old, because let's say you are, I don't know, 1 year old and watching this channel. So it's not going to happen like that. It's going to be controlled by the Russians. The Americans will say okay, and that's it. But NATO will try again. We'll try again in Armenia. We'll try again in Georgia. We'll try again in Dagestan. We'll try in areas where, you know, they can foment something. They will not stop. They will not stop. So, will they replace Zelensky? Zelensky is, with Zelensky or without Zelensky, is going to be a different shit. The same shit with a different face. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.